Well, a very good afternoon to you and happy Mashujaa Day. Welcome to News Desk with me, Michelle Ngele. It is the 20th day of October, a day that President Uhuru Kenyatta has just led the nation in celebrating the 54th Mashujaa Day celebrations. We'll be speaking to our reporters on the ground for the latest on that. But still today in Kisumu, NASA leaders will be holding parallel celebrations today as they honor their supporters who were killed in the anti-IEBC protest in the course of the past month. Do stick with me for the next 2 hours as we bring you the whole story on the developments in the country. Let's begin at the Uhuru Park grounds, where President Uhuru Kenyatta has just led the nation in marking Mashujaa Day at the Uhuru Park grounds. We'll be speaking to our reporters in Kisumu as well, where the NASA rallies to honor people killed in demonstrations will be led by Raila Odinga, as well as the no-election rallies in Kisumu days after supporters were shot during the anti-IEBC demos. Well, let's speak to Patrick Amimo joining us now live from the Uhuru Park grounds. Patrick, the president has just concluded his speech just about 10 minutes ago. A lot was captured there, including matters election, matters security. What exactly did he have to say?
Thank you. On matters election, you know, it's only this Mashujaa Day is being observed only 6 days away from the election for the fresh presidential election, which will be on 26th. This particular election is coming at a time when we've seen already division between the opposition supporters and those in the Jubilee administration, especially those in the Jubilee administration pushing for the October 26th election, while their counterparts in the opposition are saying that without reforms, then they'll not be able to participate in this particular election. We've seen the president say that the government has put in place enough measures to ensure that there's security across the country and that those who want to participate in that particular election will not be intimidated or threatened. But then it is coming, unlike August 8th, when we had Kenyans come out and vote peacefully across the country. This time round, there is a lot of heightened tension and uncertainty about this October 26th date, and there's a probability that probably some parts of the country might not have witnessed peace because there's a possibility of maybe chaos erupting. And that's why we've seen at least leadership across the country trying to ask those in leadership to come and talk to each other. We've seen here this Mashujaa Day, the Bishop Rotich also called for leaders to tone down their chest thumping and grandstanding and come to dialogue as we head towards this election, so that when we come to the day that then there is Kenyans go to the voter as a united country, not a divided country. Well, the other issue that we've also seen is that the president has taken this opportunity to campaign for himself and ask for the voter, ask Kenyans that they may vote for him depending on the record that is done for the first years. So he's pleaded for a second-term vote, and that will remain to the Kenyan voter out there or to make their choice. That's an individual choice. We've also seen the president say that the country also saluted those freedom fighters and those who participated in the second liberation struggle in Kenya when Kenya became a multi-party democracy, having suffered from one-party dictatorship. And in 1992, we saw Kenya become a multi-party state with many democratic gains. With the advent of the new constitution in 2010, the more democratic freedoms were increased, democratic space was increased, and we saw the president also touch on that and say that Kenyans should not take this for granted. Now there's freedom of expression, there's freedom of opinion, but he says that he expressed worry that maybe some of these freedoms are being abused by a segment of the society. So those are some of the views that the president did express here, also touching on Sunday when they've set aside as a national prayer day, and he's urged Kenyans across out there to go to the various religious institutions and pray for the country, pray for the peace as we wait for the election that is scheduled for Thursday next week. The other issue also across the region on matters to do with terror, we saw in Somalia, where at least there was a terror attack and about 300 Somali citizens were killed through that attack. He sent his message of condolences to the people of Somalia. We know very well that our armed forces, KDF through AMISOM, have already been worry-hearted into AMISOM forces, about 3,600 strong force from Kenya, which is also trying to ensure that there is peace in that part of Somalia, which part is that Kenyan forces are in charge of the Sector 3, that neighbors between our border, Garissa, and up to Kismayu. So those are some of the things that the president did touch on at Uhuru Park. And also, they recognize that 14-year-old girl from Moi Girls Educational Center that came out to rescue her colleagues after following the arson attack in that school, but unfortunately lost her life. She said that young girl is a good example of heroic actions that needs to be emulated by Kenyans across the country. Michelle? All
right, thank you, Patrick. Mimo, a senior reporter, has been covering the Mashujaa Day celebrations at the Uhuru Park grounds. But in Kisumu, NASA leaders are holding a parallel event there to honor supporters who have been killed and otherwise shot during the anti-IEBC demonstrations in the course of the past 2 months. Let's all link up with Rashid Ronald, who is following up on the events there in Kisumu. Rashid, President Uhuru Kenyatta just finished leading the country in these Mashujaa Day celebrations. Were supporters, or citizens rather, in Kisumu following in any of those celebrations there?
Yeah, thank you very much, Michelle Ngele. First of all, you'll bear with me because there's a lot of background noise here. This is Bishop Owuor grounds here in Kibos, Kisumu County, of course. As you can see right behind me, residents of Kisumu are turning in numbers to witness or to take part in this or be part of this major rally here to celebrate Madaraka Day by the NASA Brigade here in Kisumu. Of course, Raila Odinga, the NASA leader, as we speak right now, is in Bondo, where actually he attended the mass for the 3 people who were killed by police this week during the NASA anti-IEBC demos. And of course, the message there is NASA is not going to take part in this October election with the new slogan, October no election, October no election. That was the message that they've taken to the people of Bondo. And I'm quite very sure that that is the same message they will be bringing here in Kisumu. Remember, this is Raila Amolo Odinga's political bedrock, Kisumu, of course. And this rally is very, very important. I'm told several leaders are in Bondo with NASA leader Raila Odinga. That is the Mombasa governor, Joho, former Machakos Senator Mudhama. They are all there, of course. And as you can see, there are several leaders here, of course. A member of MCAs here in Kisumu have already arrived here. Of course, lots of anticipation. What do you expect from this rally?
Yeah, thank you so much. We expect in this rally that our stand that there should be no elections unless reforms to the electoral process are conducted will be pronounced very clearly to our residents. And we want to say that that position is going to be very firmly supported by all of us. And if you remember, just a few days ago, the commissioner, Roslyn Akombe, resigned, and she did say that the electoral process as it stands now cannot guarantee a credible election. And that really vindicates our position that the IEBC is not prepared for this election. And we want to emphasize that because of that lack of preparedness, we are not going to go into those elections, because the elections is not just the result, it is also the process. If the process is not clearly spelled out according to the law, then we have got no business going into the election, whose results is predetermined. So as we expect our party leader, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, to arrive, we expect that our position is going to be affirmed and our people are not going to go into the elections of 26th because we do not have any reason whatsoever to go into an election where the process is not clear to us. I also want to say that we have information that the Jubilee government intends to conduct the election through the security forces, and they will not mind, really, even if two people partakes into those elections. I want to say that we are going to guard against that very, very strongly, and we are not going to allow anybody to purport to vote if he's not a voter from our area.
Yeah, Michelle Ngele, very strong positions there, of course. What do we expect?
Well, the position is clear. There is no negotiation about it. And I want to call on the president to rise up and become sober. Because since I was born, I've never seen a country going for elections when people are on the roads demonstrating. But we are demonstrating for our rights. We cannot go for an election which the result is already known. Yeah, so we are saying, if the president is fair, let elections be free, fair, and credible. Why is he afraid? Yeah, why is he afraid? Because we are not amending any constitution. We are saying those who stole the elections should step aside so that we carry free, fair, and credible elections.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle Ngele. Of course, we expect Raila Odinga to be here any minute from now. As I say, it is in Bondo. He's just spoken there. And of course, the message was October, no election. October, no election. That is the message they're going to bring here. Michelle Ngele, you've had me speaking to some members of the Kisumu County Assembly. The position is still the same. And I'm very sure that is the same message amongst the Wananchi who are just surrounding me here. Thank you very much. Back to you, Michelle, in Nairobi.
All right, many thanks, Rashid, Ronald. Parallel events that are going on in Kisumu County on this Mashujaa Day as the rest of the country continues to celebrate a day set aside to honor all those who contributed towards the struggle for Kenya's independence. Let's now cross over to Nyeri County, where the celebrations for the Mashujaa Day are continuing. Currently speaking now is the Nyeri County Commissioner. Let's listen in.
Kitaifa wakati na hata baada ya uchaguzi. Hivyo basi, vitengo vya usalama vimeimarishwa na kudhibitiwa ipasavyo kudumisha amani na utangamano. Sheria itatekelezwa bila upendeleo wote na hadhi ya mtu katika jamii na haki atakayenaswa na hakuna atakayenaswa. Huku tukiwa tumewahi kufanya uchaguzi mara mbili bila shida, serikali yangu haitaruhusu kutokea tena matukio ya uchungu ya zamani ambapo maisha na mali ya watu yalipotea. Tuliapa kwamba kamwe hatutarudia matukio kama hayo ambayo karibu yatumalize. Hivyo basi, shauti tuwe macho na kusema la kwa kiongozi yeyote anayepotosha ili kuitubukiza Kenya katika machafuko. Wakenya wana uwezo na mbinu za kuwapinga viongozi wa aina hiyo na mipango yao miovu, na wanapaswa kufanya hivyo sasa. Wakenya wenzangu, hivi majuzi jirani wetu nchini Somalia walipata mashambulizi ya kigaidi ambapo maisha ya watu wengi wasiokuwa na hatia yalipotea. Kwa niaba ya Wakenya wote, natuma risala zangu za rambirambi kwa watu wa Somalia. Shambulizi hilo ni ukumbusho kwetu kwamba tunaishi nyakati za hatari. Na wahimiza Wakenya wote wawe macho na waangalifu na kuripoti mtu yeyote anayemshuku kuwa na nia ya kuhujumu usalama wetu wa ndani na nje ya nchi. Wakenya wenzangu, kufikia hapo ningependa kuwashukuru na kuwasherehekea maafisa wetu wa usalama kwa kujitolea ipasavyo kulinda na kuiweka nchi yetu salama. La kusitikisha,
it is 1/4 to the top of the hour. We're keeping an eye on the Mashujaa Day celebrations and the parallel events going on in NASA's stronghold of Kisumu County as NASA leaders lead parallel events there to commemorate or honor the supporters who have been killed in the anti-IEBC protest. We'll take a short break here on KTN News Desk. When we come back, we'll continue with reactions from across the country. Stay with us.